Okay, so I'm carrying on with this Seven Fires Prophecy, third fire. So the third fire. The third prophet said to the people, and the third fire, the Nishtabe, will find the path to the chosen ground, a land to the west, which they must move their families. There will be the land where the food grows on water. So let's look at the first prophet, or the first line here. The third prophet said to the people, and the third fire, the Anishinaabe, will find the path to the chosen ground. Now, I need to mention disclaimer, like rights. So I use thumbnails in my teaching. So and I also use Google Maps, or sometimes I use song lyrics. Like you'll see me going to song lyrics, to prevent my channel from being shut down. I'm doing my disclaimer, YouTube. All credits go to Google Maps. If I use their maps, I'm going to use the maps here in a moment. Or if I pull up one of these thumbnail or these videos from YouTube and I ask you to watch this, then all credits go to them people. Same with any musicians. I'm going to talk about a song by Rum Republic, and I've talked about Big League by the last video. So all I talked about the Killers, their songs. So all credits to those or all rights go to those, and credits go to those people that own those works. So if I mention a song, or I talk about the song, or I use Google Maps, then all those credits and rights go to those people. I'm hoping that's enough to protect me from getting my channel shut down, YouTube. I hope that's what you need when I'm using my videos. I'm making these videos. So credits go to the artists, or the people who had these videos here. When you watch these, they're there to teach you. So this is a video from Anishinaabeg Nation. I'd like you to watch so you understand who we are. Who are the Anishinaabeg? Okay. So the Anishinaabe will find the path to the chosen ground. So what's going to happen here is, the reason why I'm making these videos is we have a land claims in Saugeen. It's worth maybe I should pull that up. So it's worth $92 billion. So I think it's 92 billion. Yeah, here's one here, AI overview. So the Saugeen Ojibwe Nation legal action, commonly referred to as the 90 billion land and water claim, was launched in 1904 by the Chippewas of Saugeen, Chippewas of Nawash. Okay, so this here, like I really don't know. This is Google, so this is Google's AI. So all rights to go to Google for me using this, and this is I'm teaching Google, so and YouTube, so because this is a teaching video, I guess I'm kind of exempt from some of your gray area legal issues, I guess. So although this is AI, it's still Google, so I'm using this here. I could use also this Clear Townsend because those are our lawyers. So my plan is to get these guys here. These are our lawyers dealing with that land claims. Okay, so we're in the final stages of this land claims. They don't know that all this information I'm about to teach you. I haven't even gotten into the science part of the book, but when I get into the science part of the book, it's my intent to go to chief and counsel here and see my chief and counsel and say, okay, guys, remember I said I had this book. You guys, I want you to get this information. I want you to get a hold of Orpheus Clear Townsend. Come to my YouTube channel and start watching the videos from Seven Fires Prophecy, and then get into the book. So that way we can win our land claims. Because the science in my book, it's undeniable scientific proof that we're the creators. So when that begins to happen, which I'm predicting probably late September, because I have so many videos to do. So by late September, probably end of September, that's when I can begin to expect, the Anishinaabe to find my video. So if we look here, that $90 billion is critical to the success of this vision quest that I'm on, or this mission. So when I have access to that money, I'm going to take that money and we're going to change the world's political landscape by putting all females into political power. through the People's Republic of Canada. Then we're going to take some of that money and create the People's Corporation of Canada, so that we can buy all the corporations on planet Earth and collectively as the planet own those corporations together. Because as it is right now, 1% of the population owns every corporation on planet Earth. It's my intent to make 100% of the planet own all those corporations, so that we collectively can use that money from our tax-based dollars of achieving world peace through the all-female political campaign system, where those females, they attain world peace. So if you got world peace, you don't need militaries. So with the militaries, we can save our budgets and begin researching the science that's in the book to get us to paradise, in other words. So when this happens, like when I begin getting these videos out and then I get them to the chief of council and then they get them to the lawyers, that's when you're going to start seeing the Anishinaabe Nation come forward, because it'll start here. There'll be rumors in the community saying, holy smokes, you got to check out this video. And then because people have friends out and about in the community, out and about further out there, then the word will begin to trickle out to the Anishinaabe Nation. And then the Anishinaabe Nation will more than likely be the first people to review these facts that I have on these videos. And that's when you can begin to expect, the Anishinaabe Nation to find the trail. So get this videos done, go see my chief of council, and tell them to get it to these lawyers. So when these lawyers get a hold of it, that's when you're going to start to see a change. So let's see if this comes back up. So that's the path to the chosen ground. So they haven't found the path yet, because I haven't created enough videos to get to the lawyers, to give to the chief of council, to give to the lawyers, who are going to give it to the scientists, who then people will begin to pay attention, and say, holy smokes, you got to check out Anthony. He's got this wonderful story on YouTube that proves we're the creators. And that's when the Anishinaabe people that you learn about here are going to find the path to the chosen ground. The path is, just think about the path being internet, my stories. But the chosen ground is the Netherlands, or Ster, okay? They don't know that they're the creators. They don't know that I'm the creator, and they don't know that I've selected a Caucasian mother to be the new creator to prevent World War III from happening, or Armageddon. So when they find that out, that's when they're going to find the path. So when I begin to go viral, that's when they'll find the path to the chosen ground. Now, I predict that to be, I believe, in September. So I want you to watch a video here regarding that. So I want you to watch this here, because it's kind of related to what I just told you. So this video here, wake me up when September ends. So I'm predicting when September ends, like end of September, maybe October, that's when the Anishinaabe Nation will begin to wake up, or Saugeen will begin to wake up, or the lawyers will begin to wake up, the scientists will begin to wake up. There'll be a shift, I'm hoping, by the end of September from this song, because I'm in mid-August now. So if I continue to make videos until end of September and then get to the lawyers, get the chief of council who get this information to the lawyers, you can expect the Anishinaabe Nation or other people to begin waking up near the end of September. Waking up in terms of realizing that they're in the end of days as prophesied in Revelation, but it's not going down the way they expected. There's a Native American father rising up who's chosen a Caucasian mother. So people are going to begin to wake up and realize that they're in the end of days as prophesied in their scriptures, but it's not going down the way they expected. So people are going to begin to wake up spiritually, is what wake me up when September means. So I'm predicting near the end of September is when all of this will begin to start happening. That's just the basics of what that song is. If I had time to go through the whole song, I'd explain the entire song and what it means. So I'm predicting, if the song is correct, if I get my work done in time, then Around the end of September, early October, that's when the Anishinaabe or the general public will begin finding the path to the chosen ground. People will begin talking about Ster Mare, this Caucasian mother who lives in the Netherlands. And that's what the first line of the prophecy means. Now, the second line is a land to the west, which they must move their families. So, we're originally East Coast people. So, in this prophecy here, this is where the credits go to Google Maps. So, we're originally East Coast people. So, our stories talk about us living on the East Coast here somewhere and then migrating inland to the Great Lakes where the food grows on water. So we've already moved to the west in our prophecy, but now we got to move again to the west. So in the video that you'll watch about the Anishinaabe, basically our territory is it's a big triangle piece like that. You'll see there. So we now got to move from here all the way westward. We got to move west, all the way over to here. Okay, so this is where we're moving to, the Netherlands. It doesn't mean that we're moving there, like in terms of getting up, moving our people there. It's metaphorical, meaning when this story, I'm hoping end of September, early October, begins to get traction and people start listening to it. On our people, the Anishinaabe, they hear our story. Then they're gonna know that there's a father creator who's looking for a wife forever, and that person that he selected is Ster over here in the Netherlands is his forever wife. So they're basically going, oh, okay, we didn't know that there's a mother father creator. We now know he's moving over there. So that's what moving to the west means in terms of the prophecy now. However, because it's a worldwide prophecy. Here we go again. I gotta wait for this to load up. I don't like when it does that. I gotta wait for it to load. It should just be there. Like I shouldn't have to keep loading it each time. So, a land to the west, which they must move their families. So it's metaphorical for us moving here in terms of they now know I live over here as the father. They know that there's a mother over here that I've selected. So that's what that means. Like they have to move their belief system and understand that there's a Caucasian mother that I'm interested in making a mother of all creation who lives in the Netherlands. That's what moving to the west means. However, in terms of the general population, the Anishinaabe will find the path to the chosen ground. So when the Anishinaabe find that path to the chosen ground, likely before everyone else at the end of September, and then you guys start finding it at the end of September, we're going to find the path. But in terms of this prophecy, just because we find the path means that we're finding it first before you. So the Anishinaabe will find the path to the chosen ground, followed by the rest of mankind is what that means. If you know what I mean, like we'll find it first, but then it'll begin to trickle out into the general population to where everyone else finds that path. And they find the story where there's a Caucasian mother. That's what that means. So, and then everyone, like the entire world, a land to the west, which they must move their families. So your families right now, like the Judaism family, the Christian family, and the Islam family, all of those families, you now have to move your families to the west, right? But also like Buddhism, Hinduism, folk religion, and no religion. All our families, or the entire world, think of this families here as being everybody on planet Earth, must now move their families to the west, which is Amsterdam, where there's a new mother. But it also means, because I live in Canada, means, if you live in India, well then I'm to the west. But if you keep going, you get to the Netherlands. If you keep going, you get to the west. You get to Anthony. If you're China, you keep going, you get to the Netherlands. You keep going, you get to Anthony, right? So, depending on where you live, you keep moving west, you're going to get either me or Ster. So it also refers to that. Us finding the path first, then you finding the path, and then all of mankind having to move west to this new land here. It just basically means spirituality, where I selected a Caucasian mother is my soulmate. So, where they must move their family. So the next line is, there will be the land where the food grows on water. So I talked about this in the first video. There's the Netherlands is like a secret farming empire, I guess. So they the food that they grow, it's below sea level, so they had to pump water out, several feet or several meters to be able to grow their food there. So that food is technically growing on land that was the ocean at one time. So that's what growing the land where the food grows on water means in terms of this prophecy. There will be the land where the food grows on water. So that's what it means. So basically, this Netherlands where food grows on ground reclaimed from the oceans is what it means. Okay, so there's other meanings like in the future. If I talk about the future, what I wanted to talk about is this prophecy where we live in futuristic pink glass cities researched by science, where we grow our food hydroponically in those cities. And you can go to a hydroponic store and say, "Can I get the freshest stuff you got?" "Oh, I got lettuce, I got tomatoes, and I got strawberries." "I'll take it." So you take that food and you take it home, and it's free. That's another meaning. But to get there, we first have to, pursue, me and Stare as a new mother and father, and not start a war in the process before we can research the technology. Because if we start that war, we're not doing things diplomatically. We're just fighting over nonsense, over territory, and who's right, who's wrong. And then our scientists should be working together. Like there's I don't know, like 20,000 scientists on the world who could all be working together collectively to research this technology in the book so that we can create a better society for ourselves, instead of saying that person's bad, let's go get rid of them, let's fight, let's start a war. That's not how you do things diplomatically. I don't know where you came up from or where you got your morals from, but I was raised in a Christian home, and I don't do that. I don't go start trouble unless trouble comes looking for me. So I expect the same from you. Don't go looking for trouble when you have somebody telling you they don't want trouble. When I tell you that I don't want trouble, I want to do this diplomatically, I would respect you or I would expect you to respect what I'm saying so that you don't cause trouble. And you don't want to cause trouble with me. It's the last thing you want to do. So all I'm asking is, please do this diplomatically. Let's get our scientists to look at this stuff together. Let's be peaceful and loving together. And let's not throw mud around. And let's not try to start a war. Because we are in the end of days. And in your prophecy, there's supposed to be a great war. A war that we can all evade or stop if we don't do things negatively. So think about that for a moment. There's supposed to be a Armageddon war. And I'm telling you, I don't want that Armageddon war. And to not start that Armageddon war by being foolish and thinking foolish things or saying foolish things. And let's avoid the war. Let's work together, is what I'm saying. So that's the end of the prophecy. But there's some other information that I want to include. I talk about Jaden, this girl Jaden. So she's in my other videos, but you wouldn't understand. Like when you're first getting into these videos, you're not going to go down and watch my other videos and say, "Who's this Jaden girl?" Anyways, we're moving on. So I'm just going to show you who she is right off the top, so you can get a better understanding who she is. So this is Jaden here, okay? This is the girl that I've been pursuing for 9 years, trying to convince that she's the mother of all creation. Okay. But she's in a very happy relationship with a person that I'm assuming is her first love. I'm not certain, no, but I'm assuming that she's with that person, that they're married or they want to get married or they want to start a family. So if she's happily in that relationship, I don't want to break that union up. So therefore, I have to go pursue somewhere else. So that person that I'm pursuing is Stare, but it was Olivia. And then I was interested in Tate, and then there's Princess Charlotte, but Stairs seems to be the number one running person for that job, because she's not as famous as the other ladies. And as I said previously, it's like I already got fame, I got fortune, I got too much on my plate. I don't think I want to add being the mother of all creation on there, because then I'd have to balance that out. So all three of them are famous and fortunate for that. So whereas Stairs, she's like, I'm trying to become famous. I'm doing my skate videos. I think I could let go of my skate videos and become the mother of all creation if it means, walking around with you, doing things diplomatically. And, every once in a while, if I get an urge to go skating, I could go grab my skateboard and go do a couple of tricks by myself. but I don't need to focus my career on that now. So from that perspective, she makes a better fit. Like she's not as career driven as the other ladies, and therefore would make a better fit for herself and for mankind, because she can focus on being the mother of all creation, and whenever she gets wanting to, she could do a couple of tricks. But she already has that platform there, so she could begin doing maybe a different type of platform. I've seen people do that where they start out one way, but then they kind of shift their platform into a different method. Like I don't know, as an example, Pokimane. She's one of those people. Like Pokimane started out as a gamer, but then she started slowly doing like lifestyle stuff. So she's changed her programming to be more lifestyle. She doesn't do the gaming as much. So if you don't know who that is, I should maybe pull up her profile here. You can get a better understanding of what I'm talking about there, how you can change your formatting. So Pokimane. So if you bring up this girl here, Pokimane, you'll notice that her videos, like she started out as a gamer, basically doing gaming videos, and then she slowly started getting into lifestyle stuff. Now she's doing like fashion week or stuff, like vlogs, fashion week stuff. So this is type of stuff that I could see for you doing your same stuff there. In case you're wondering how your career is gonna go, you still do your skating, but you might want to include a few more vlogs. Let people know what your thoughts are on the situation. Are you excited? Are you scared? Are you happy? That type of stuff, and then see where it goes. Because if you pursue this path, as I hope you're going to pursue it, then you and I will eventually be getting together. You'll probably see me on her YouTube as well, and saying, "Hi guys, it's Anthony. I'm over in the Netherlands with her, and we're just chilling out. I'm watching her doing her skate stuff, that type of stuff." So, in case you're wondering how it's going to go, that's how I see it. Because the other girls, they're right at the top, right, and they're it would be a lot on their plate, but you don't have as much. So that's why I think you're a better fit, personally. And grandmother and grandpa believes it as well. So this is Jaden. So I'm no longer pursuing Jaden. If you watch my videos, you'll see my progression. There's a video there where I'm still in love with the thought of being in love with this girl, and I'm letting her know, like, hey girl, I'm falling out of love with you because I'm pursuing these other avenues, and it's scaring me. I tell her, and then in the next video, you're like, okay, I'm now with this other person. I'm doing the Miss Universe contest, and then later on, like in February, you'll see me introduce Olivia Rodrigo as the person that I'm in love with. Okay, I'm in love with this girl here now, and I'm like, and then this is what you could, I think, like at the beginning of August, maybe you'll see me talk about me being in love with Stair and these other videos. So it's like it changes. You'll see my progression in my vlogs. But that's Jaden. So when you hear me talk about Jaden, that's who Jaden is. So there's something else I wanted to mention. Oh, over here. So I mentioned this star child here in the previous video, but what I forgot to mention about it is Stair. So this star child here, star child scene, and Stair that's right here below. It means that I'm supposed to have a child with Stair, or a Stair child. Like, her and I are supposed to have a child together. That's what it also means there. And I forgot to mention that in the previous video, so I thought I'd add that in there and say, we're supposed to have a child together. Which, in its own unique way, is connected to the second fire prophecy, where a boy will be born to lead the way back to the traditional way. So if her and I bind our souls, say next year when she turns 23 and we become pregnant, then this child will destroy evil. Everybody who's evil in creation, if I haven't destroyed them yet, will keel over dead in the streets. We're talking this baby here could kill 242 trillion evil people outside this solar system, and they'll all perish. And anybody who hasn't done their purifications will perish. So, I think here in our little time bubble, we'll be safe. But everywhere outside, everyone will perish. So that's also what I wanted to add in there, Stair, that this is our child, like our Stair child. that we're supposed to have to defeat evil. When you turn 23, we bind our souls together, and at some point in time, we become pregnant to destroy evil, which I forgot to mention in the previous one. So that's also the second part of prophecy where the boy is supposed to be born, but it's also about my son as well. So this is something that she wants to talk about. So I woke up this morning, and this video here, it's see August 13th at 7:04, and if you look up here, it's August 13th. See it there, August 13th. So this video I took this morning. So at 7:04, but then up here the time changes. So how to put it, when I seen it, I knew that she wanted me to talk about the song that's below it here, which is by One Republic. So you'll notice here how it's called 2-year skate, progression skate, girl, kick flips, straight flips, board slides. That's the same thing here, okay, here. So all I did is I scrolled up, and this was the song that was below it. She likes this song. She knows it's about her. Like, your spirit knows this is your song, and she wants me to talk about it. Okay, so Stair, Sterre, is pronounced stare, as in Stair, like a set of stairs, or to stare at somebody. All three pronunciations are the same. Stare, stare, stare. So this is stare. It means Sterre. Stop and stare. This here, this is Jaden's first cousin, Leia. Her mother has the nickname Soup Bone. She got that name a long time ago. So because Soup Bone, like if you were to make like a chef, if a chef, say a French chef, was to grab a bunch of stock bones, like beef bones, what they would do is they put those in a big pot, a huge pot, and then they would just cook those bones and simmer that broth right down, and then they pull the bones out. They'd likely pour the marrow of the bone into the broth, so you'd have a really nice beefy broth. So because her mother, Leia's mother, has that name Soup Bone, and you make soup from pots, like you need a big pot, that's what that means there. You just have to look at it backwards. Pots means pots, okay? So I can tell because of her mother's nickname that Leia is on that list for the mother of all creation. So when you see this, Leia, that's you. But there's more there. It says pots, but if you look at the word top there, you see it? It says top. It means top. So it means pots, top. So pots means, if we change it like a Soup Bone's tops or Leia's mother's tops, right? So if we go Sabrina's tops, and then we transfer Sabrina's name out of there because of her nickname or the association with pots through Soup Bone, then it becomes Leia's tops. That's what that means, Leia. Pot, top, or Leia's top, through your association of your mother having that nickname, Soup Bone, where you cook soup in pots. So that means Leia's tops and Stairs tops. You two ladies are the top choices for mother of all creation. And that's what Leia doesn't know, that she's a selection. I've given her the book. There's like 600 pages. I went and I printed the copy of on copy paper for my son to read. And I went to go give it to my son, but he wasn't home. So the next person I thought of was Leia, because Leia is first cousins to Jaden. So I went and gave that book to Leia. I said, Leia, can you please read this book? It's very important. And can you try to get it to Jaden if you can? So Leia has read my book, as far as I can tell. But there's no information in there about her being the new mother of all creation. This is gonna be a bomb to her. I'm dropping a bomb on Leia. She doesn't know that, or you don't know, Leia, that you're a running mate now for your first cousin because of her decision to remain in her relationship with her current spouse. So if I get rejected by Stare because the general public talks bad about me, it influences her decision to get with me, and nobody on planet Earth wants to get with me. Let's say everybody out there hates me and doesn't want to get with me because they think I'm a bad man, because they don't understand what I did to save them. Who am I supposed to turn to? Who can I turn to? Well, obviously I would look to my community first and say, well, is there anybody in the community that wants to get with me? And, you make a good fit because you're royalty, right? You're royalty in terms of, your cousin supposedly being grandmother's first selection. And then, so therefore, by royal bloodline, you're next in succession. So you're very beautiful. I would have no problem getting with you because of how beautiful you are. However, there's an age gap thing, mankind. There's an age gap thing of her being 15. So I wouldn't be able to date her until she turns 22, which is 7 years away, and we wouldn't be able to bind our souls together or until she's 23. So that's 8 years away. Whereas because Stair's 21, I can begin dating Stair in December when she turns 22. Her and I could begin dating in December. And then her and I could make love when she turns 23 next year and bind our souls together. Or if mankind, if you go and wreck that for yourselves and influence her decision to get with me by calling me all kinds of bad names and saying this and that, and she's like, I don't want to walk around having to be with that guy considering everyone hates him. I don't want to get with him. Then you're going to wreck it for yourselves. And if I have no one on planet Earth that wants to get with me, don't be surprised if and 8 years from now, you see me walking around with Leia as your new mother. And you'll have pissed your opportunity away to have a Caucasian mother forever because of your pride and ego or whatever it is that may be holding you back. Like, why you don't like me, I don't know. But if you piss your opportunity away to put Stair into power because of slinging mud around, which influences his decision, then you're going to end up with a Caucasian, or then you're going to end up with a Native American mother who's more than likely going to be Leia because she's next in line. So you don't want to mess things up for yourself. So, as I said before, let's go into, you need to know that you can't, Leia's 15, but you can't date anyone until you're 22. So, I want to help Leia tell a little story here. So, but Leia, all I'm saying is, there's a 50-50 chance you could be the mom, but please, girl, don't, set your bar too high. There's nothing wrong with writing a little fantasy, but if you set it too high, you could end up being hurt. And I don't want you being hurt, but I want to tell the story as it needs to be told, okay? So 22 by Taylor Swift, that's about me dating Stair when she turns 22 in December. But if I get rejected by her, well, then I have to wait 7 years before I begin dating Leia when she turns 22. So that's basically what the song is about. Me having to wait till one of these girls turn 22 before I date them. So the next one I want you to watch is Super 8. Okay. So Super 8 trailer. Here. This Super 8, that's Leia because she's 15. I can't make love to her and bind our souls until she's 23. So in 8 years, when she turns 23, her and I could make love and bind our souls and be mother and father forever. That's what Super 8 means. Having to wait 8 years for her to become mother of all creation. However, that 8, it's attached to pots, right? Because pots, a stop sign, it has 8 sides, right? It's an octagon. So stop means pots backwards. And a stop sign has 8 sides. So this Super 8 means that she's Super 8 or pots backwards or stop. Pots, stop. Super 8 means an 8-sided octagon means that, she's a selection. So when you watch this, mankind, you need to know that it's about Leia stepping up to become the mother of all creation because you guys wreck it for yourselves by talking crap about me, which influences Stair's decision to get with me. And then nobody wants to get with me. Then I'll just come back home and ask Leia. Leia, if you're interested in that position, you need to know that that's being offered to you, okay, and not Jaden. It's now your position to help save creation by getting with me. So that's what Super 8 is about. It's about you. It's about her, mankind. So if you look up here, you see this here where it says, let's talk, Supergirl. That's her as well. So you wouldn't know that this particular scene here. Right here. So I want you to watch this now, mankind, because it's about Leia. Okay, so 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 look at that. I want you to watch that. I'm going to describe it in a minute. So I want you to watch that. Okay. So that Supergirl video or that Superman video, there's a dog in there. So Clark Kent is looking after that dog, Crypto. Okay, so we used to share a dog here, Louis. So we got a dog, Louis, for my son because when he lost his grandfather, it affected him deeply. So we got a dog, a memorial dog, and we named him Louis. So that dog that we got for Mean Gun, I was expecting him to live forever because I would have been able to save him and not let that dog die because of the technology. The technology would allow Louis to live forever, and he's gonna live forever. It's just that we have to research the technology to bring him back to life, and then when he comes back to life, he's never gonna die again because he's my sidekick. So, the dog that you watch in that video is Louis or Crypto. Okay, I'm Superman. He's Crypto. But Supergirl, when she enters the scene, she comes in there and she's looking for her dog. That's Leia because that dog, Louis, he moved from this house here, and then he followed my son when my son moved down the road to the complex. He lived over there with my son and my mom, and then he moved over to Sabrina and Leia's. So he would bounce around between three homes, Sabrina's or Leia's, my son, Mean Guns, and my houses. He would always bounce around. He'd visit there. Like he'd come here for a week, and then he'd go there for a week, and then he'd go to the other house for a week. So he was a shared dog. So Crypto in that particular scene and Supergirl is Leia through the association of Super 8 or Stop or Pots. You wouldn't know that unless I said that. So Leia and I are fourth cousins because my dad and her grandfather, great grandfather, I can't remember. My dad and her grandfather. That's her grandfather. Yeah, grandfather are first cousins, which means that me and her grandfather are second cousins, which means me and her dad are third cousins, which means me and her are fourth cousins. So we're fourth cousins, which is far enough removed to have kids together and get married. But in terms of the Superman scene, when she comes flying into the scene, she's drunk, and then the robots go, "Sir, your cousin's here." That's what it means there. It means, "Sir," or "Anthony, your fourth cousin's here." Leia, she's here to pick up Louis, the dog. That scene is about us, Leia. I'm Superman, you're Supergirl. And you could fulfill that role in the event that mankind here turns ugly and they want to start a war, they want to start slinging mud everywhere and saying I'm a bad man, which influences Stairs' decision to get with me. She's like, "Well, I don't like what society says about him. Why would I want to walk around with him? Because everyone hates him. I don't want to walk around with a man that everybody hates." Then I got to turn to somebody, and that somebody is you. So that's what the scene is. When you watch it, mankind, it's referring to you guys rejecting me, which influences Stairs' decision to get with me. She doesn't want to get with me, so I have to turn to my fourth cousin, Leia, and ask her to become the mother because my first choice, Jaden, doesn't want to get with me because she's in a happily committed relationship with her current spouse. So because Leia's royalty, I turn to her first cousin and marry her first cousin, and her and I become Superman and Supergirl. That's what the scene is about. Her and I getting together. The reason why she's drunk in the scene, it's a representation of Leia and I getting married. Like when she turns 23, we bind our souls together, but she's still from Earth. So there's probably in her mind, she's always had this fantasy of marrying somebody like a traditional person, where you have a wedding, you walk down the aisle, then you have a, you have a what they call the after party, the reception where there's champagne, right? So that's why she's drunk in the scene. It's a representation of Leia wanting to have a wedding reception with me after she turns 23, where she gets a little bit tipsy at the wedding. That's why the Supergirl's drunk. It represents getting married and having a wedding reception. And then the dog, in 8 years from now, we will literally be able to resurrect my dog Louie using technology and bring him back to life. So when you see the dog fly over and jump on Supergirl, it's a representation of Louie being brought back to life here, and then seeing Leia standing there when he's brought back to life using technology, and he sees Leia standing there. It's a representation of Louis jumping over towards Leia first before me. It's because he likes Leia better than me, so he goes into he attacks Leia. It's a representation of Louis attacking Leia when he's brought back to life, and he's very happy to see her. So that's what the scene is about, Leia. That's what the scene is about, mankind. You know, in the event that you guys wreck things for yourselves by calling me Satan, or calling whatever else, like whatever else might happen, then and Stare doesn't want to get with me, you're gonna wreck things for yourself, and you're gonna force me to look for love and within Leia, within Jaden's first cousin. So that's just a little tip of the iceberg of her story and how it relates to us, and that's what Stare wants to let Leia, that you're there. If you look here, it means that there's two of you at the top. Stairs. It's important for Stare to tell this story, because she wants you to know that you're running for mother as well. But she also wants the world to know, like, don't mess things up for me, guys, because he will marry that girl Leia, and you'll have a Native American mother forever instead of a Caucasian mother. So that's what Stare wants you to know by stopping Stare, so you now know what the song means. Potts and Stare, or Leia and Stare, the two top choices. One's a Native American choice and one's a Caucasian choice. And your choice to, how you treat me and how you treat Stare will determine whether you get a Caucasian mother or a Native American mother. So tread lightly, mankind. So if we go over to I don't know if I saved those lyrics for that. I want to go into the lyrics. So all lyrics, like I said, the lyrics here are all credits go to One Republic. There they are there. So these are available online, but these credits go to One Republic. So in order to get Stare as your mother, you need to act as One Republic, or act. A republic means diplomatically. Do this diplomatically as one world, and you go get that Caucasian mother. Otherwise, you talk crap about me, reject me, which influences her decision, then you're gonna get a Native American mother. So here it's like, stop and stare, which means Leia and Stare. That's what that means, girls. So I think I'm moving, but I go nowhere. So that's like, I think I'm moving over to the Netherlands to go date this hot, skater chick. But, I go nowhere. Why wouldn't I go anywhere, mankind? Well, it could be because when I'm expecting a DM from her, to say, "Hey, Anthony, I heard my story online. I'm interested in that position as being the mother. What's our next steps? What do we do?" If I get that DM from her, well, then I can say, "Wow, how about what we're doing? How about we chat a little bit? We digital meet, or what do they call it? DM each other back and forth, and start a courtship like that. And then maybe when I get some money, I can fly over there and see you, or you could come over here and see me. So that's where it needs to go. But if I'm not going anywhere, if I don't go anywhere, mankind, it's because you've wrecked things for me. You've wrecked things for her by talking trash about me, influencing her decision to get with me, saying I don't want to get with that guy because the entire world hates him. And then I go nowhere. That's what that means. Stop and stare. I think I'm moving to go visit Stare over in the Netherlands, but I go nowhere because people have influenced her decision and now she doesn't want to get with me. Is what it means. Yeah, I know everyone gets scared because they think that I'm Satan, but I'm not Satan. And if you hold on to that belief system, you're going to wreck things for yourself, and you're not going to end up with a Caucasian mother. You're going to end up with Leia as your mother. Those are the two top choices. So, but I'll become what I can't be. If I can't be, with Stare, I'll become what I can't be, or father with somebody else. I'll become, father and mother with Leia. That's what it means. I'll become what I can't be. You need to know that I can't die. If somebody drops a nuke on me, I'll rewind time and I'll come back to life. Or the 1,000 universes that are out there that you can't see, they'll come together and form a ring and they'll shock this universe and everybody will drop dead everywhere if I die. Then they'll fly their spaceships in here, they'll resurrect me, resurrect mankind, and because somebody influenced my decision to get with Stare and started a war in the process or whatever. It's like, well, why would I? I told you guys not to do that to me, not to hurt me, but you hurt me. I told you not to do that. And now Stare doesn't want to get with me. She told me to F off. So, well, I guess it's my turn to say F off. So, Leia, are you up for the task of, dating me in 8 years? Do you want to see where it goes? And she goes, sure, I'd love to get with you. That type of thing. So then you guys will be stuck out in the cold. So I'll become what I can't be. You can't get rid of me. You can't unalive me without there being consequences. I'll live again. Let's just put it that way. There's a galaxy on the far side of the universe that's not connected to the electromagnetic energy of this universe. And the only way that they can come here is for me to lose weight and get skinny so that I can purify the hydrogen in the universe. And then they fly their advanced spaceships over here. And then they can come here that way. However, if I get unalive, then the fact that all the atoms in my body are no longer alive and I'm not alive, that atom in my heart, it's still rotating at the quantum subatomic level, and it becomes a singularity. And all the hydrogen in the universe gets purified. Those spaceships can come over here and resurrect me. Or I could rewind time. I could rewind time. If I die, I could rewind time and come back to life. There's many ways I can win. I can rewind time, come back to life. I could get my spaceships from that galaxy to come over here, and I could get spaceships from a parallel universe to come over here to save me. So you need to know that you cannot get rid of me. And if you do get rid of me, your chances of getting what you want, which is the Caucasian mother, will get tossed out the door, man, in favor of Leia. So don't do anything rash or irrational, I should say, to jeopardize what's standing in front of you. So that's just the basic point of what the lyrics are. Stop and stare. I think I'm going to go be somewhere with Stare, but I get nowhere. Yeah, I know that everyone gets scared that they think I'm Satan, but I'll become what I can't be, which is I'll become the Father, and I'll live forever and ever and ever, and there's nothing that can stop me, man. Nothing. Nobody's going to stop me. Your UFOs ain't coming here, guys. I'm talking to the imposters. There's no UFOs that are coming here. None. Zero. I'm in control. So that's what I want you to focus on, and what the basics of the concept of the song is. At some point in time, when I have the time, I'll explain what all of this entire song means. But I don't want to over focus it, because if I do, then I'm basically creating plagiarism or something. I can't do it word for word without having permission from One Republic. But just to talk about the basic concepts of what it's about, I'm okay to do that, because I'm teaching you in a different method. I'm using this song to teach you. So that's basically what that lyric means, okay? When you hear the song, stop and stare, it means Leia, Miss Cuddison, stare mirror. That's what it means. So that's what she wanted me to teach you guys. So that's one. Now, this other song here, I heard it on the radio, so I took a picture of it. This is The Rest of My Life. So after you're done Stop and Stare, I want you to listen to The Rest of My Life, okay? So it talks about dream it, then make it. So this is a message down here. If you can dream it, mankind, then you can make it. But if you mess things up for yourself, you only have yourself to blame. So I started thinking about the rest of my life. I found myself just looking out for trouble and strife. So if you're looking out for trouble and strife, then you're not going to get what you want. You're going to get Leah as your mother, because you'll have turned your back on me. You'll have turned your back on what I'm saying to you. You'll have affected Esther's choice. She won't want to get with me. Therefore, I turn to Leah and say, okay, she don't want to get with me. How about you? And Leah will probably say, yeah, I'll take that position. So someone with whom I spend the rest of my days. But if I ever said I wasn't set in my ways, well, then I guess you caught me lying to myself. So, what kind of fool doesn't think about it? You have to be a fool not to think about it. So that's the part I want you to pay attention to. What kind of fool doesn't think about it? You have this guy coming out, rising up, saying that he's the good guy, but I believe he's Satan. But at the same time, he's telling me he wants to do things diplomatically. He doesn't want to start Armageddon. He doesn't want to start World War III. He wants everyone to keep quiet, listen to all the facts at the table, and then make a decision when you know everything that you need to know, understand everything you need to know, then make a decision on whether he's the bad guy or the good guy. And in the process, by keeping silent and being nice and not throwing mud around, you just might get a Caucasian mother, because you're not going to influence that girl's decision. Because if she thinks half the world doesn't like me, I don't think she's going to want to get with me. Why would I want to get with that guy? Half the world doesn't like him. They think he's Satan. I don't want to be known as Satan's bride, so I'm not going to get with him. Screw that. What kind of fool doesn't think about that? So if you don't think about what I just told you, you have to be a fool. And if you're a fool, you're going to piss away your opportunity to have a Caucasian mother forever and ever and ever. You only have yourself to blame if I end up with Leah. And Leah, no offense, but, I don't want you to feel like you're second string, You're very beautiful. I'm honored to have you as my wife forever and ever and ever if things come down to that, okay? But right now, you need to understand that I'm trying to prevent World War III here by marrying a Caucasian mother, okay? I don't want you to feel like second string or the parachute either. I want you to know that I'm honored that you're there for me in case I need you. Okay, I'm very honored to have you there to step up to that role. Okay, so just know that you're on call, and please don't go falling too in love with the concept, because you could end up getting hurt. That's what I'm gonna say. So. It's almost like a prophecy. One thing I know about the rest of my life, I know that I'll be living in Canada. If I'm living in Canada, it means that I'm not going to be moving over to the Netherlands. Why is that, mankind? Why would I be living in Canada? Like if I, I'm a free man. My children are all adults. I don't have a dog. I could move over to the Netherlands and live with Stare and let her do her work from the Netherlands. I'm 52. Nothing's stopping me from moving over there. I'm an adult. I don't have adult children. I could move over to the Netherlands. What's preventing me from moving to the Netherlands? So one thing I know about the rest of my life, I'll be living in Canada with Leah, is what it means. If I'm living in Canada with Leah, it means that society itself dropped the ball and messed things up for yourself, and not me.